Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun.
Missing in Savannah.
And as you come around, and it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh, I knew it's you, yeah, boy.
Where is Cody?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing up. I see that the first three that's in the building will be, let's see here. We got Sanjay in the building, and then we got Freddie in the building, and then we got Tina Powers in the building. All right. So those three said something first. So they are the ones that got the free tickets for the Christmas in July. You guys, July is next month. We're halfway done with this month. We only got 30 days more, and we'll be doing our Christmas giveaway. And there's a whole bunch of money in it. It's a whole bunch of money. Somebody's going to win that money. Now, I know Freddie done won the money before, and Tina done won the money before, and Sanjay done won some money before. I don't know, y'all. Y'all going to let these mods just beat y'all. But they doing their job. They come in. Shoot, we come on, they come in. You guys, sometimes we get our family to come on in. But I see a lot of blue, and I see Lisa Taylor up in the building. I see nothing but Moz. Jacqueline Blackwell is in the building. Yes, she is. Let me see. I hate when I miss somebody. If I miss you and I didn't say something, you guys let me know. Okay? Let me know if you're in the building. So when you come in, you guys, you've got to say something on the chat so I know that you're in the building. You can't just sit there, because you be thinking I see you. I don't see you. You're in the bushes. So you got to come in and say hi or hey, I'm here, whatever. And hey, Kenya's in the building. You guys, I wanted to share a little bit because hey Kenya, how you doing? A lot of stuff is going on, and I don't want you guys to feel sometimes, when things don't go the way you think it should go, you know, hey, AGD is in the building, Zena's in the building, and so I need to start looking at our mod because I kind of was told that Zena needed to be a mod, but we are only trying to keep so many mods. So Zena, just hang on in there, and you'll be the next mod that we get in. Um, just want you to know you're the next person we're looking at as far as being a mod. I think you was a mod on the other channel, so just make sure you guys speak to everybody, and as they come in the building, let them know. But you guys, we were looking at the case where Kelli Bryant. You guys don't remember who she is. She was the young lady that left her kids for like 5 years, 4 to 5 years in a house by themselves. Yes, it was a decent townhome or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, and the kids was there by themselves. She would, send them food, and sometimes once a week. And so they didn't starve to death. Thank God for that. But I mean, they didn't get they didn't never get to go to the doctor. They didn't go to the dentist. Sometimes, and I tell people this all the time. I say, you could be going through something and it seems horrible. It seems bad. You like, man, I got it bad. I mean, this is happening to me. I lost my job, or my husband ran away with the spoon. Such and such stole my purse. I don't know what you're going through. Such and such got cancer. This person died, whatever. I mean, you may think you going through some bad stuff right now. Everybody got something that they don't like going on. It's called life. My mother would say, live a little longer. If you ain't going through it, you will. You will go through everything you see everybody else is going through at some point of time in your life. It's all depend on how you deal with it. How you deal with it. One thing I used to always think when I was raising my kids, I raised my kids by myself, really. I did. And I know a lot of you ladies, you raise your kids pretty much by yourself. So, some people say, SP, why you didn't come on Father's Day? Because us women, I could have came on and said Happy Father's Day, because guess what? You women took the role of mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So I was calling my daughter saying Happy Father's Day to you, because guess what? She was the mother and the father. I was the mother and the father. And when you're raising your kids, and you might have your mother to help you, or your grandmother to help you, or tell you the things that you need to do. Well, you thought it was bad, and it was bad. You felt all alone. You felt like it's a lot. It's a lot to raise kids by yourself. And you be like, well, didn't nobody help me? And da-da-da-da-da. Well, if we really pay attention to some of these cases that we look at, like say, for instance, and I'm not saying this, I'm just being honest with you. Like, we look at these cases, some of these girls don't even make it past the age of 13. Somebody take them out. Some of the kids don't even make it past the age of 5. Somebody took them out. And I guarantee you, it was nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? So to all you mothers out there and fathers and grandmothers and great grandmothers out there, you know, you know, you know, thank you for raising your kids and doing the best job you can do. And the best job you did. Yes, you made some mistakes. And your kids going to make some mistakes. Love on them and help them as much as you can. You know, we always look at these cases and they are horrible. Zena says, I didn't have a father. He died when I was 8 months old, and my mom raised us kids by herself. I used to wish her happy Father's Day when she was alive. Yeah. And you know what though, Zena? Your father had a good excuse. He died. There's some fathers out there, like my father, that chose not to be in our lives. He chose to not be there. Now, I don't know why, like he could still been a father just because he wasn't with my mom. But sometimes, you know, we think it would have been better if he was here or there or whatever. And sometimes you don't know if it would have been better. You don't know what would have happened. And so I do believe God does not make mistakes. And when things happen, they are supposed to happen. Whether we see it as good or we see it as bad, it is what it is. And you know what? When he say that he will not put more on you than you can bear, trust and believe it is not the worst. You can and you will be okay. You will be okay. After the smoke clears, you still will be okay. Freddie said my papa was a Rolling Stone when he was not at home. No, it says my papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Yeah. If he put his hat down, shoot, that was his home at that time. My father was the same way. Anyway, you guys, it's going to be okay. It will be okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jacqueline. I will be praying for you. She says her brother passed away Saturday. I'm sorry to hear that. And, that's sad. I'm sorry. Sorry that you're going through that right now. And like I said, but one thing for sure, the ones that are still here, us that's basically on this live right now, we can do better. You guys understand what I'm saying? The person that knows I'm talking to them, know I'm talking to them. Do better. I can do better. I will do better. Don't think that it's the end of the road. Don't think, oh, how would life turn out now? Just keep going. Just you'll be okay. You will be okay. God's got a plan to work it out. You know you're gonna feel okay. It's gonna take a while, but you will feel one day you will be like, man, okay. This I had this plan, I had that plan, but I'll be okay. It'll be okay. And and Jacqueline, I mean, we all got stories about when mom passed and when my brother passed. And I can tell you this. My first baby brother passed when I was like 19, 20. I think I was 20 or something. And so for my brother to pass, he was only but 22. My brother passed of an aneurysm. And I can tell you, I was mad because what I was taught was if you pray to God for something, just pray and, you're going to get it. I didn't pray for money. I didn't pray to win the Powerball. I don't even think it was a Powerball back then. I didn't pray for a house or a car. I prayed that my brother will live. Well, so, being like 20 years of age, I've been going to church. My whole family didn't go to church, but I went to church. I've been going to church since I've been like 5 years old, and I felt like I was a part of that, like I felt like home. I love going to church. I go to church, nobody else go to church. Well, when I prayed that my brother will survive, he didn't. So now I'm mad. I'm not only mad, I'm mad at the world. I'm mad at God. I'm mad. And so, I'm like, well, what kind of God is this that he let my brother die? And so I felt like I'm not going to serve this God, because what kind of God could he be? My brother never did anything bad. I mean, he wasn't a bad person. Could have gave him a chance or whatever. Even though he didn't know him like I knew him, I felt like he didn't know him like I knew him. I was mad at God. So I went on a rampage. Yeah, I did. I went on a rampage. I didn't care about nobody. I was like, if this is what it is, then everybody gonna get a little something. Like, if you came in my past, oh, you felt it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a really bad person, like how I treated people. I really was. If you guys would have known me back then, you probably would, I'm not going to say that. Because I know ratchetness brings a lot of people. Chaos bring a lot of people. Our channel would be big right now if I was sitting up here cussing all of y'all out. I bet you 500 people show up. I'm telling you, they would. If I just start cussing right now, cussing all of y'all out, I say, Lisa Calhoun, you need to kiss my butt. I wouldn't say butt. I would say the ass. I say, Freddie, suck a big whatever. Guess what? You start seeing people coming in here. They be running, hitting the doors. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just telling you, it would happen. So Sunshine said, I would leave, period. Girl, you better stay and help. Because they would be coming in here after me. They'd be like, see, I told you this. I told you that. And da-da-da-da-da. But anyway, like I said, I was, I felt like I was a really bad person in life, chaos. People, you're going to have big crowds of people that they just want to hear it. They want, because they are going through some stuff and they're mad. Hey, Leisure, how you doing? You cussing for no reason, girl. I'm telling you, one of these days, I'm going to have to show you and prove it to you. I know you know, because you have been in here. You have saved my life. You have been just, my moms are great. Freddie, Tina, y'all have been around where we had to go through some things with some channels. And y'all seen them come running in here. They gonna shut our channel down. And I didn't cuss them out. But I told them, you cannot stop what God has already. Hey, if he has put you in a place, yet you ain't gonna stop nothing. And he done shut it down. Y'all ain't been here. Y'all have not been here where he has shut this channel down, where the people in the chat couldn't say a word. The only thing they could do is listen. And I had my moms in one ear. They was calling me saying, go ahead, SP. Say what you got to say. And I mean, we had all Facebook over here. Come on. We had the whole Facebook over here. And I mean, we got like 1,000 subscribers all in one day. And I just told him exactly what the Lord told me to say. And it all went well. It did. And you had to be here to see it. You had to be here to just, what my mama say? Just live a little longer. You'll see some things are meant to be. And when you think that evil got the best hand, no, they don't. It may look like it, but they don't. Just stay true to what God told you to do. You'll be okay. Freddie said, I remember. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Sonia said, live in living color. Yes, it was. It was ordained. I was like, what's going on? I was like, what's going on? And my mom was like, SP, go ahead. We can still hear you. And they can see me too, because like right now I got my hair down right now, you guys, because I put some rollers in my hair. Now, my hair is not holding curls. For one reason is because my hair is too long. And then the other reason is it's not straight enough, so it didn't hold the curls. But shoot, it looked all right. It looked all right for the day. She says, I remember a case. I'm not going to reveal the case, but I remember a case where April and SP was going at it. Girl, I done went at it with almost a lot of them. And it don't wear me down, but like some things are supposed to say what you need to say. And if I go the wrong way, he did you blow it out? No, I tried to straighten it a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest with you, my hair done got thicker and it's a little bit more coarse. Ew. And I don't know why. Like before it was like thin and just easy, but for some reason it done got, I just really needed probably to go somewhere professionally to get it done. And it probably would have hold the curl. I got the old school sponge rollers and to roll it up, and it didn't do well. And then I got some coconut oil, and it's kind of like not an oil, it's almost like a grease, like a Vaseline grease. And that's probably a little bit too thick. But anyway, nevertheless, it'll be all right. But anyway, you guys, I wanted to share with you. Jacqueline says, Zena, I came from a family of 9. It's 4 of us now. God is good and it hurts, but it gives me comfort knowing he's at peace, resting in God's arms, and he's with my parents in heaven. Yes. Yes, yes. Zena says, I need my hair to get thicker. It's thin. Well, girl, if you want your hair to get thicker, only thing you need to use is some of that dog mane and some sulfur and Vaseline. You'll be all right. It'll grow fast. My hair doesn't grow a lot. My hair is down my back. Ugh. But my edges are not doing as well as I want them to do. Freddie says cupcake. Yeah, Birmingham had a little piece of me. But you guys, so Kelli Bryant is out on bond. You remember we were telling you guys about Kelli Bryant that left her kids at home for 5 years, and the kids could barely walk because their toenails were so long, and they don't even know how to flush the stool. They didn't know how to brush their teeth. They didn't know what the birthday was. They didn't know all of this stuff because her kids was 15, 12, and 13. She done left them for 5 years. So to leave a kid that was 15, that the oldest had to be in 10, and 12 and 13 would have been 8 and 7. Tina says, Kelli Bryant makes me sick. I want to show you her walking out the jail. And you know what? They paid $50,000 cash bond to get her out. Now, think about this. And you know what else? I'm going to make you mad, but don't get mad. It's going to be okay. They had already told her, if you get out, why you even in jail? Do not try to contact your kids. Do not try to contact the kids. So one of her family members got the kids. But here's the thing. You got the kids, but where was you when the kids needed you? You know what I'm saying? So who got Kelli Bryant out? You know the family got Kelli Bryant out. You guys know that, right? Okay. I wanted to share this with you guys because I know you guys didn't see it. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Jacqueline. Let me put your name down on here. Jacqueline, you done did this before. Let's do a ×2 because you showed it because I see it right here. You done did that before. Thank you for the super chat. Miss Jacqueline, I got you on here ×2. Let's share this. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. There we go. Thank you.
Y'all see Cupcake on there? Y'all forget those pictures, don't you? Thank you, Jacqueline Blackwell, for that super chat. We appreciate it. And I got you ×2 right there. Let's see here. Let me share my screen with you guys. Let me see which one we want to see. We'll do this one right here. Let me say, because I can't see my screen. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me get off in here. See, I don't know. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, she says, yes, those are our babies. Then they are. And they are. Let's see here. And we're going to get back on. Okay. Okay, now I can see the screen. Okay, can you guys hear me? All right.
Only on Local 4, the woman accused of leaving her own kids in a Pontiac home for years is finally out of custody after bonding out of jail with a few conditions. It's a story that gained national headlines. Kelli Bryant posted bond today as she faces several charges, including child abuse. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. On Valentine's Day, her 3 children, ages 15, 13, and 12, were found alone in a Pontiac home. Police say the children have been left alone since at least the year 2021. As Victor Williams shows us, her bond was dropped earlier this year from $250 million to $50,000 back in March.
Yeah, we knew this was potentially coming with such a dramatic bond reduction. We're talking about from $250 million all the way down to $50,000. It was only a matter of time. Kelli Bryant walking out of the...
Hold on. Did they say 250 million? I think they're mistaken, and it's supposed to be 250,000. They said 250 million. You guys, did they say 250 million? Come on. They didn't say this woman had a bond of 250 million. They meant to say 250,000, right? They said 250 million. They crazy. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. I know that's what they said, but I think they're saying the wrong thing. Okay, Lisa, we're going to play it again.
Only on Local 4, the woman accused of leaving her own kids in a Pontiac home for years is finally out of custody after bonding out of jail with a few conditions. It's a story that gained national headlines. Kelli Bryant posted bond today as she faces several charges, including child abuse. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. On Valentine's Day, her 3 children, ages 15, 13, and 12, were found alone in a Pontiac home. Police say the children have been left alone since at least the year 2021. As Victor Williams shows us, her bond was dropped earlier this year from $250 million to $50,000 back in March.
Yeah, we knew this was potentially coming with such a dramatic bond reduction. We're talking about from $250 million all the way down to $50,000. It was only a matter of time. Kelli Bryant walking out of the Oakland County Jail, finally free after spending over 100 days behind bars for allegedly leaving her 15, 13, and 12-year-old kids at home for years in the worst of conditions. Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald talking about the severity of the situation when Bryant was first charged.
The children were afraid to come out of their hiding places and to speak with the police. Police had to repeatedly advise the children that they were there to help and they were safe. The children's bodies and clothing were covered in feces, and the girls had difficulty physically walking outside of the residence.
Per the conditions of her bond, she's not supposed to have any contact with the victims of the case. That's including physical contact or anything digital. There are some concerns, however, over if Bryant will attempt. Back in March, she had her communication privileges revoked when Prosecutor McDonald says she tried contacting the caregiver of the children. Here's an attorney for the prosecution handling that matter.
Your Honor, my concern is twofold. First, that Ms. Bryant defied the court's order on 3/7/2025 with the no contact, but also is now circumventing Oakland County Jail's rules and having other inmates contact on her behalf.
Bryant's lawyer says she was unaware that she couldn't call the children's caregiver and that no one received a written copy of the court's no contact order. Regardless, from now on, absolutely no contact with the kids or anyone under the age of 18. No returning to the address where the children were left or where they currently are living with family. Now, if any of these conditions are violated, then Bryant can be taken into custody, and that's without a warrant. Live tonight, Victor Williams, Local 4.
So, Victor, before you go, how will cops keep tabs on Bryant? I'm assuming a GPS tether.
Yeah, she is going to have to wear a GPS tether, and just like that, they're going to know exactly where she is at all times.
Yep, okay. We appreciate it. Victor Williams reporting for us tonight.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. So she's gonna make a mistake. Yeah, I believe she already did. Leisure said that she got a friend request from Jarvis Butts. A few people did. What do you mean, Leisure? What do you mean you got a friend request, Jarvis Butts? Jarvis doesn't have his well, was it Jarvis Butts, or was it a new account, or was it his old account? She's going to make a mistake. Watch. Tina Paris says she's going to try again. Yeah, she done already tried to contact the caregiver. Leisure, I don't know if my phone is charged. Doggone it, it's not. Hold on, I'm going to charge it though. Because Leisure got me thinking, what the heck is going on? I've been trying to take care, actually 2 minutes ago. Girl, Leisure, how can Jarvis doesn't even have his account anymore. You might be talking to Shannon. Jarvis can't, I don't know. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you if that's really him or not. So what happened? Leisure, tell us what happened. Here, I'm gonna send you a request. Hold on. Let me think. How do I do that? Crap. Okay, I forgot. Golly. She say it's fake, of course. Probably Shannon. Yes, nothing. It was just Mal. I know they have access to tablets and emails, but I want to hear what she got to say. I want to hear Leisure. You ain't got to show your face, Leisure. Come up on the panel. Or if you come up on the panel, you ain't got to show your face. Just deny the camera. See, I can show my face right now because my hair is down, but I'm not going to show my face because of that. Y'all be like, ooh, I like that SP. Ooh, that's pretty SP. And be like, my hair is nappy underneath. Some prisoners do have iPads. Yep. I see them live streaming on TikTok. Yeah. What's going on, Freddie?
I'm sorry, I was laughing at Tara Morris when she had asked, did she accept it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Leisure now. She said, it's Shannon. Well, you should have talked to Shannon. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Let Shannon say what she need to say. She said, I used to communicate with my nephew in prison. He was in prison for... Yeah, but I don't think they let you use your old email. I don't think they let you use your old email. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
Yeah.
Did you get you can get one to 2SP?
Right.
Yeah. I wonder who that is playing on the phone.
Well, it's probably Shannon trying to see who's saying what.
My Lord.
Because she probably can get, she probably got his, how to get into his email. You know what I'm saying? His password. So it's definitely not him. No, you make up another one. Right. I don't believe it's Jarvis. Though. That goes to show you if Shannon did all this, she knew everyone's password and she knew what was going on. She said, I'm about to accept it. Yeah, go ahead and accept it.
Yeah. Yes. I'm go back down so I can see, what all going on. I ain't got my chat on.
All righty.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you can accept it, but he didn't call himself Jarvis. Yeah, I don't think it'd be Jarvis because see, they do have a tablet and all of this other stuff, but they can't use the outside Gmail and all this other stuff. Do you know if they will let them boys use their old Gmail accounts and all this other stuff, they would have havoc up in there. You know what I'm saying? They'd be making all kind of deals and stuff, because, they they do have a tablet and all of that, but unless they got their own phone, They can't do all that. On Facebook, he's as J Boy and J. Yeah, I know, Leisure, but it ain't gonna be Jarvis. You might be talking about Shannon. You know, Shannon doing all kind of stuff. You know? I didn't know if they have access before they've been sentenced, though. What you talking about, Milky Way girl? They okay. So they do have an account where they can communicate. But unless they have their own private phone, which is contraband, and if they get caught with that, that's some more time. But if somebody's got their password to their account, they can still maneuver on that account. Just say, for instance, if, Lord and behold, never this won't happen, but if my son went to jail and he gives me his account, which will be, Junebug 52, I could go make Junebug 52. And if I know his password, I could be talking to you just like you think you don't know it's me. You be still thinking it's my son, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they open up the Facebook page to see if maybe Naziah would come on there and speak or say something, or maybe somebody's acting like they Naziah trying to get a hold of J-Bug or J-Boo. You said it's J-Boo, and I don't remember his Facebook being J-Boo. I don't remember that. I think it was something else, but it wasn't J-Boo. It was J something, but it wasn't J-Boo. I know that for sure. They access to all social medias in prison. My nephew communicated on all of them. It's not Jarvis. I am a lie. Oh, you know it's not Jarvis, right? Yeah, I know you know it's not Jarvis. But it could be Shannon, or it could be his brother or something that accessed his account. Because, my girlfriend, her bro was in jail, prison. He was doing federal time. But he was meeting all these women. But she was handling his account. And these women was like, oh, they didn't know he was in prison. And he would tell her what to say to him or whatever. And she kept a conversation with them and stuff, and, things like that. And it cost them It cost them so much a sense a word on both sides. Really? I don't know. I haven't had to deal with somebody in prison for a long time. But, I would think that they would keep tabs on that. Because it's all about the money and about who you talking to and what y'all talking about. They don't care if you talk to people. They just want to know if you still trying to do crime while you in there, or you still talking to people that's doing crime, things like that. Anywho's, you guys, I'll let you guys see the video of Kelli Bryant walking out of jail. She's smiling and grinning. She walking out of jail. They said $250,000. Now, how in the world would you have a bond for $250,000 and it gets reduced down to $50,000 cash. You had 250 million? Golly, that's crazy. I could see it being reduced to 250,000, but it was $250 million down to 50,000. Yeah, you're right. Something happened. Something happened. And then this was the other video I wanted to share with you guys. Let me share the other one with you because that was $250 million. That was crazy. That was crazy. Here where they lowered the bond. Let me share with you guys. Here they lowered the bond.
There is much interest in the outcome of this case and in the bond. I'm going to reduce the bond to a 50,000 cash bond at this point.
A judge dramatically reduced the bond for a Pontiac mother accused of abandoning her 3 children for several years inside an unsanitary home. That story tops our newscast today. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Winfrey. 34-year-old Kelli Bryant was arraigned last month on 3 counts of first-degree child abuse. Originally, the judge set her bond at $250 million, but today it was reduced to $50,000 with several conditions. CBS News Detroit's Elaine Rojas Castillo joins us from Pontiac with more on the conditions the judge set and when Bryant is due back in court.
After a $250 million bond is set a few weeks ago, the Pontiac woman accused of abandoning her 3 children has her bond lowered to $50,000.
The purpose of the bond is certainly not to punish. Even though this is an extremely high impact case, there is much interest in the outcome of this case and in the bond.
In her second court appearance, Kelli Bryant spoke few words, with the 34-year-old being shown virtually from Oakland County Jail. Charged with 3 counts of first-degree child abuse, prosecutors say Bryant's disregard for her children's safety and health for years make her a flight risk in need of a high bond.
We believe that she does pose a danger to the community, specifically the victims who are members of the community, who she egregiously and intentionally neglected for years.
Bryant's attorney shared letters of support written on her behalf, but underlined the seriousness of the bond request.
It's a very difficult situation. So when I say community support, I want everybody to understand that, that shouldn't mean that, we should be worried about the children because everybody has made the children a priority.
Along with the reduced cash-only bond, Bryant was given other conditions, including no contact with her children or anyone under the age of 18, and no contact with those caring for her children. She also cannot return to the address of the alleged incident and must use a home confinement electronic monitoring device. A mental health evaluation was also ordered, with prosecutors asking for evidence in regards to concerns about her mental state during her time in custody.
She has a history of deceiving those who are attempting to support her for years. And it is difficult for me to imagine that all of her beliefs about her alleged support systems have completely changed within 2 weeks of her being in custody.
Bryant's next court date is set for April 15th, and if convicted, she faces up to life in prison. In Pontiac, Elaine Rojas Castillo, CBS.
Okay. Hey, Rosalind, how you doing? So you guys, I guess they did make a mistake. I guess her bond was $250 million. I believe, and I could be wrong, but they found out that she was a mental patient prior to all of this. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that helped her to help her case was she turned herself in. They didn't have to go looking for her. When they called her, She answered the phone and she said, "Hey, I'm Kelli Bryant. I'm the mother of those kids." And they said, "Come in." And she walked in. She caught an Uber and she walked on in. So that helped her. So that make her look like she wasn't running, she wasn't hiding, and she knows what she did wrong. Yeah, her mental health plays a big role, you know. So I was telling y'all earlier, some people be like, she needs to be under the jail and she needs to da 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 da. Somebody need to tie her up and let her stay in a house and feed her once a week and all this other stuff. The emotion on her face looks like, and so what? Yes, I believe she was mental. Yeah, she is. She is. And I don't believe she knows, like, she knows she did wrong, but she believes, like, the people that, her support system wasn't there to help her. But it's mighty funny that they can come up with $50,000. And that's a cash bond. Do you get your cash bond money back if the person shows up for court? Do you get your money back? I don't know. And she's in Pontiac, Michigan. I don't know. Let's look that up. I would like to know that. On a cash bond in Pontiac, Michigan, do you get your money back if the person shows up for court? If the defendant, yes, in Pontiac, Michigan, if a person posts a cash bond and appears for all scheduled court dates, the full bail amount minus any applicable fees or fines will be refunded. This is regardless of the outcome of the case, guilty or not guilty, or dismissed. A cash bond is a straightforward process where the full bail amount is paid directly to the court. If the defendant complies with all court orders, including appearing for all required court dates, the cash bond is eligible for a refund. After the case concludes in the court process, let me tell you something, depends on if she's appeared or not. Exactly. So if she appears, they'll get the money back. The court may deduct any outstanding fees, fines, or court costs from the bail amount before refunding the remaining balance. If the defendant fails to appear in court, the cash bond will be forfeited. If they fail to appear, they lose that $50,000. That kind of money, I will make sure she appears. Exactly. If a 10% bond, she wasn't on it. Hers was cash. If the defendant does appear, the bond can be transferred to pay fines and costs are returned to you. You, as the poster, have two options: bring the bond receipt into the court to authorize payment of fines and costs. So, do the bond give money back? Okay, we learned they can get the money back if she appears in court. Posting bond at 52-3 district or whatever. If the bond. Okay, good afternoon, Monique. We wanted to know that. How, $50,000 is a lot of money. I don't know. You gotta, you can go to a bondsman. You don't have to have that kind of money. You can go to a bondsman and go to the bondsman, and the bondsman has $50,000. And you can say, look, I need my daughter out of jail. I don't have $50,000, but I have this house. And so you sign your house over, and the bondsman will put the $50,000 up, and then they got somebody on your tail. You gonna show up, but you gonna lose that house. For me and my kid, I couldn't do it. But I'm gonna tell you what, you guys. I am going to tell you what. Yeah, it's a property bond, but see, the bondsman has a right to say yes or no. You know what I'm saying? It's not a property bond. It's still a cash bond. It's just the bondsman. Let me. The bondsmen have the option to say, I'm not going to put my $50,000 up on this girl. You know, they know good and well they're going to catch her. But it is $50,000 on the table. And when she shows back up, if she doesn't show back up, that bounty hunter is going to get her and she's not going to get back out again. But the bondsman thinking, she going to be easy to track because she got a tether. That girl going to cut that tether off. You know what? I can almost guarantee it, you guys. I hate to say it. I really do hate to say it. I hate to say she's going to cut that tether off. And they want me to share this StreamYard link. Okay. I'll share it. They want me to share it. I'll share it. Okay. Okay. Because they're clogging up my chat. I can't see what's going on. I believe that this girl gonna go on the run. I mean, hey, she said tether, the tether. She said tether, whatever. It's gonna be cut off. This girl gonna take off running because you know what? She's gonna have to do time. She's gonna do time. No, if I don't care what kind of mental she has, they need to get her some help. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that the kids did not die. She said, tether. She said, I still don't understand why her bond was so high. I haven't heard of that one until now. I tried to tell y'all, we listen. And they said 250 million. They didn't say 250,000. They said, and 250,000 is pretty much $250,000. And that's a lot. That's a big chunk of change. But they went from 250 million. They didn't even come down to say, okay, we're going to give our mom a bond for 200,000. They went from 250 million, nothing's done changed, to $50,000. To $50,000. Make that make sense. The kids are they got the kids. The kids are now with family members. She done already disregard of the rules and the regulations before they even spoke to her. She done called mom, she done called dad, and then they done put up their house or whatever, and she's walking out of that jail. They wanted her to stay in lockdown, but that judge said, well, we don't put the bond in there to punish a person. No, you put the bond there to keep them from hurting other people. They was like, well, we got the kids now. And she's still making contact with the people who got the kids. And she acting like, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, what is it that you don't know? You done already did all kind of damage to these kids. You done did all this damage to these kids. And you still making contact with who got the kids? You remember what happened with that girl in Alabama? She wasn't supposed to be contacting people who had her kids either. What was her name? The one that took Cupcake? She wasn't supposed to be contacting people. What was her name? She changed her name to a boy's name. We was like, she spelled the name wrong or something. We was like, how is her name? Yeah, no. Anyway, I forgot. Y'all know, y'all remember the name. Somebody in here remember her name. Derica. Freddie's on it. Derica Brown. Quintessa. Yeah, she changed her name to, we was like, she spelled her name Derek. And we was like, Derek? And then somebody came on and they was like, yeah, it's supposed to be Derica. Yeah, Derica Brown. Yeah, Quintessa. She was still making contact with people that had her kids. Yeah, she was. You know how I know? Because I had contact with the person that had her kids. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have that going on with her because, you know, she didn't harm her kids. She harmed somebody else's child. But remember what happened prior to that? When Derica knew where her kids was at, she went over to that house and adopted those kids and went there with a gun and hurt the person that had her kids and put the kids in the car and then ran into the filling station gasoline thing. Could have blew her up and the kids. It wasn't her mom. It wasn't her mom that had the kids. I think it was like her auntie or something that had the kids. You know? Exactly. Plum crazy. You guys, you can't even make this stuff up. You just can't. You know? It is what it is. But I tell you what, I feel like we try to make sense into why things happen. You know why things happen? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm gonna tell you guys something. You know, like say for instance, you know, like I got this girlfriend. Let me just share this with you right now. Tina says, Kelly Bryant, you need to go sit down somewhere. You know the conditions of your bond. Those kids did not deserve nothing that you did to them. Exactly. Thank you, Tina. Let me tell you something. I got this girlfriend. Now, she wasn't my girlfriend at first. Matter of fact, we went heads together. Okay. She felt like she won. She didn't win. I was trying to tell her to do the right thing on something. Well, she didn't do the right thing, but she won. Everybody went her way. And she was walking around, and she used to work for me, right? And she was walking around like, I told her, I ain't got to listen to her. And it was horrible. And I thought to myself, well, okay, I'll keep it moving, keep going. She didn't want to listen. As the girl continued to work, she kept making bad decisions, like leaving the job without clocking out, or, smoking this and smoking that, or, taking this and taking that or whatever. But she got comfortable doing little bitty stuff that she finally made a bad decision. And they fired her. Okay? I had already quit. And so when they fired her, she lost her apartment, then she lost her car, and she lost other stuff. So I was just with her just this Saturday because we are good friends now. And, I really do care about this girl. But anyway, she said, because I made a bad decision. I made one little bad mistake, SB. I said, no, you didn't make one bad decision. You were making a whole bunch of them, and they allowed you to. And you got comfortable doing your bad decision making. You just kept going until they was like, you know what? Get out of here. Now, they were letting you go with some of the stuff. And then some of the stuff they didn't know. But I kept telling you, no, don't do this. No, don't do that. And you was like, oh, see, you're wrong. I'm right. I'm telling you guys. And I told her. And she was like, if you would have been still there, you would have told me, no, don't do that. I would have told you to don't do that. I would have told you that. But you wasn't listening to me back then on little bitty stuff. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Every time I told this young lady to don't do something, whether they knew it or not knew it, it was the right thing I was telling her, but she was not listening. And finally, boom, she lost her job. And she couldn't understand why they fired her for something so little. You know what I'm saying? And then things just started happening. And she was like, I lost my job, then I lost my apartment, then I lost my car, and now look where I'm at. And I'm like, what do you think was going to happen? You just kept going and going and going and going. And I kept telling you, you're making a bad decision. Don't do that. And you was like, oh, you guys, I would have to tell you the whole story, but I'm not going to do it because, that she is a friend of mine. But I'm telling you, she thought she lost her job mainly because of the last bad decision. She didn't lose her job because of the last bad decision. She lost her job because she got comfortable of making bad decisions, and the world just sitting back going, you're okay. You're okay. Oh, don't listen to SP. She's a stiggler, And they like, yeah, and they puffing up and they like, you can't tell me nothing. Okay. And you know what? And she's my friend. And I care about her. I love her. But, sometimes people make bad decisions and the world allows them to make bad decisions. And so it's almost like P. Diddy. People looking at P. Diddy like he's a bad person. I don't believe he's a bad person. But, if he continue to make bad decisions and the world is like, but you're P. Diddy, then he makes more and more and more. And then he can pay his way out. And he can pay this person and pay that. Then he becomes this monster. Well, guess what? The world made him to who he is. And not making him responsible for his decisions, you guys. Exactly. She was pumped up about getting away with making wrong decisions and the world saying, you're okay. You're okay. Now look, had you continued making the better decisions, the right decision, somebody telling you to do the right thing, it may not be fun. You be sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Listen to somebody that care. You may not like for somebody to tell you the right thing to do. You may not like it. But sometimes you got to think who's telling you to do the right thing. Are they telling you to do the wrong thing? Or are they telling you to do the right thing? This girl, she's going to make another bad decision. I don't know who was in the chat that said she's going to make another bad decision. And she is. You could tell when she was in jail, she was still trying to call this person who got her kids. See, like, I didn't know I couldn't contact them. I just wasn't trying to contact my kids. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, that's a bad decision. You think they don't know you in jail? You like, just get me out of jail and tell them to get me out or whatever. And da-da-da-da-da, and I'll get them some money or whatever, whatever. And they feeling so sad for you. They need to care about them kids. That tells me that those kids are still in danger. Those kids are not protected. They're not. They probably just took those kids because those kids come with a check. You know, I'm just being honest with you guys. They take those kids because it looks bad for them not to take the kids. Who would take all 3 kids? They don't know how to talk. They ain't went to school. They don't know how to wipe themselves. They don't know how to clean up. They don't definitely, yeah, they might know what a phone is about or a computer is about or something, but they can't read right, spell right, or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you don't know what else they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's horrible. So whoever raised her is now raising the kids. And if she wasn't, responsible for how she just let those kids sit in the house for 4 or 5 years, and they sit back and, it's okay. Kelli, it's okay. You made a bad decision. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and get these kids. And then you're going to call us and tell us, well, nobody there for me, and this, that, and the other. No. You should have let those kids go into the system where they could at least got some food and got some schooling. That's why I tell you guys sometimes, there's nobody to take Shannon's kids. Those kids is in a better place, not even being with a family member. Because the family member is sitting there talking about, shoot, I make more money at my job than to be sitting there with somebody's kid. And they're right. Because guess what comes with those kids? Shannon, Jarvis. That's what's going to come with them kids. You trying to raise Shannon and Jarvis kids, and they know that you got their kid? Girl, I would not deal with those nut buckets. I just couldn't. It has got nothing to do with the kids. But sooner or later, they're going to find out you got the kids. And then if you got Shannon's 5 kids, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? Looking like Shannon, talking about my mama this, my mama that. Some of them know how to read. Some of them know how to write. Some of them know the phone number. They gonna call. Ain't such and such or cousin such and such. Boo-boo-doo. Shoot, girl, no. No. It is not really got to do with the money or them kids. You gonna have to deal with Shannon, crazy butt, and Jarvis. She think it's okay. What you do to my kid? Or, my kid called me and told me such and such touched her. My kid told me that they didn't eat today. My kid told me, oh my God. I'm telling y'all. Zena said nut bucket. I'm telling y'all, it comes with a lot. So, because I was wondering, I was like, cousins didn't get the kids. Roxy didn't get the kids. Kenya. Roxy said if they would have called me, she would have got the kids. I was like, girl, shoot, I wouldn't even tell that lie. I would not. Not 5. No, ma'am. Them kids come with some problems. And then the family, oh my goodness. No. I probably would keep them maybe like a week or 2, and say, hey, try to find some place for them They could probably stay with me for a week, make them comfortable or something. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that they okay, But no, I would not want it. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Sanjay say, not even one day. I couldn't do it. First of all, it's too many kids, and you can't take one without taking all of them. You can't do that. And I definitely wouldn't take, if I had to take one or two, I would take the youngest two. The ones that the baby. The baby that's still in the diaper or something. I would take that one, or two. And no. So, and I'm just being honest. That's a lot of kids. And then when you separate them, that's the wrong thing to do too. To be honest with you, separating them kids, you know what I'm saying? Because when will be the next time that they get to see each other and know that that's my brother, that's my sister? It's horrible. So, and here's the thing, you guys. And let's just speak on this real quick. Shannon do not have custody of her kids. Think what I'm saying. 5 kids. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 kids. 5 kids are displaced right now. 5. That's a lot of kids. And those kids already subjected to a lot of worldly living and lifestyle. So what baby girl Naziah was going through with her being displaced. I hate to say this, but now Shannon kids are displaced. They're not even with a family member. They're just out there. You guys understand what I'm just saying? So what Naziah went through, Shannon kids are going through. But she don't even know where her kids are at. You know what I'm saying? Not one kid like Naziah, but 5 kids. 5. So going through the system, what happens? Kids are being touched. Kids are being slapped. Or go to bed. Calling your names. Oh, you can eat today and not tomorrow. You're not part of us. Or, whatever. You might get a good family. It's just a matter of time. Somebody either gonna touch you or knock the crap out of you or treat you bad. It is what it is, you guys. Because hopefully they can find a family that, and this is why I tell people all the time, it is a job. Quit looking at the kids like, I'm gonna give them love. Yeah, you can play like it's love. And you can call it love and say it ain't play love, but in all reality, you're giving them a roof over their head, and you're getting a check for that. And if you wasn't getting a check for that, you wouldn't do it. It is what it is. It's the truth. You would not just open your house up for some random kids to come in, and you just wouldn't do it. There is a check. It's called it's supposed to be for the kids, and you're not going to use it for the kids. You're going to use it for housing like you're supposed to, and all that other stuff, and your time and all that other stuff. You guys understand what I'm saying? And the check is not going to be, it's always going to be, if you got 5 kids and you're trying to put them someplace, only place that's going to accept 5 kids is somebody that ain't working. Exactly. Sajai, oh my goodness, you understand what I'm saying. That's right. True people can't do it. Like, right, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. Not because I don't have the room. It's because I've got to bring in money. And the only way to bring in money, I gotta work. How can I work with 5 kids? I couldn't. And if I couldn't do it, then we got to live off of this kid's money. That means, guess what? It's a job. And it's not enough money unless, guess what? We're eating rice and beans and potatoes. And yeah, I got to stay at home. And now, you come with a check. The check is not that big because there's no disabled kid. So you might get $600 for this kid and $700 for that kid and $600 from you might bring home $3,000 a month. But that's no money when you got 5 kids to feed. And then, the insurance is free. You make sure they go to school. But you guess what you got to do too? When those kids need to have, and you cannot stop it, they get to have visitation from the mama. So guess what? You got to make time to transport those kids to have visitation with mama. And you know what happens sooner or later, mama gonna find out who got them kids. You remember that girl when up there in the California City Boys, when she said she looked out the window to see who had her kids, and she ran up on them one time and was like, please, 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 let me see my kids. I don't know what's going to happen. Da-da-da-da-da. She wasn't supposed to know who had them kids. But guess what? She was watching. People are careless. And they're going to find out who got the kids. Now, only thing they got to do, follow you. She said she followed them. She followed them. So she knew where they was going, knew where they lived, knew where they were at. Okay. Do you falter? No, you can't falter because guess what? Those are her kids. Of course, you're going to try to figure out who got my kids and then what was the kids, they're looking at, she said $1,500 a month for the care of the bad ones. Girl, you would think, no. She said, I raised my cousin and got her when she was 5. I had to deal with her drunk daddy and young teenage sister who got a good inheritance. Girl, and I bet you went through a whole bunch too, trying to just, they mad at you and talking crazy and stuff. And girl, and you the bad person. And here you is taking your money to make sure that the child is this and the child got that. And only thing you trying to do is get the child to A to B, and they sitting there lying on you, or they ain't even got to lie on you, just talking smack, talking bad, knowing where you live. You never know when you're going to run across them or they want to blow up the house or whatever. It's just crazy. I'm telling y'all, if you ain't never went through it, I cannot tell you. It is horrible. It can be your own family members. You are going to go through it. You are going to go through it. You'll be wishing you never did put eyes on that child. You'll be like, I'm a good person. I only wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I told my mom the same thing. I was like, you want me to jump in there and help? Man, I was looking at losing my license. I was getting lied on. I literally had to say, okay, go do what you need to go do. How about that? And I'm done. But I try to do the right thing. Oh, here's visitation. Come when you want to. Did it. Oh, shoot. They steady. This steady. Just do the right thing. Go get, go to the classes or whatever. Mm-mm. It never works out right. It never, the kid will be okay. What I'm saying, in some situations, it works out. But I'm telling you, it do not work out without the chaos and the lying and the crying and you feeling like, you know what? I wish I would have just mind my own business and let them alone. There's a scripture in the Bible, you guys. Matter of fact, let me find it. I'll find it for you. Because I know y'all be ready to look for these scriptures. A scripture in the Bible that tells us to leave them alone. It's Matthew 15:14. A verse in the Bible that includes the phrase, leave them alone. It reads, leave them alone. They are blind guys. If the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a pit. This verse is spoken by Jesus in the context of the discussion about religious leaders and their interpretations of Jewish law. Jesus is interacting with the Pharisees and the scribes who are criticizing his disciples for not washing their hands before eating, according to their tradition. Jesus uses this opportunity to critique the rigidness and the tradition and the misinterpretation of God's commands. He tells them to leave them alone because they are spiritually blind and leading others astray. The phrase leave them alone is not endorsed of their behavior. Instead, it's a statement about their lack of understanding and the consequences of following their misguided teachings. Jesus is essentially saying that they are not receptive to truth and that their influence is harmful. Do you guys understand that? I need to get a 1 or amen. Do you guys understand that? It's going to be very harmful. They're misguiding teachings. Receptive to the truth. That's why I had a girlfriend tell me this today. She was like, are you going to be her friend or you a mentor? I'm her friend. Actually, I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to call my friend up and I'm going to say, girl, let me tell you something. I do not want to be your mentor. I want to be your friend. Because as far as a mentor, you're not listening. You think that now that you're homeless or whatever, and this is where God wants you to be. I don't think God wants you to be homeless. But if that's what you want to do, go do it. But every time when I ask you or tell you to do something, you're not going to do it. So therefore, I guess I'm not your mentor. I'm going to be your friend. So what I'm going to do, when you want to just chit chat and talk to me and tell me how you done effed up again, I'll be there to listen. She said the Bible knew and didn't lie. Exactly. SP, maybe it's someone trying to scam since he's such a prominent suspect. Maybe women want to go put money on his books. We won't be putting any. No, we won't. I couldn't do it. When my nephew was put in prison and his wife was found unalive and she had a baby, my niece took the oldest daughter. I couldn't because of my health problems. So she ended up foster. Girl, and I wouldn't even feel bad about it. Like I said, I've did the whole adoption thing and got criticized. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the bad person. Oh wow, I didn't know that Exodus says if he arrived alone, he is to leave alone. Okay, but at the end of the day, you guys, sometimes when people come to you and they give you a word of advice, like my friend had gave me, I listen. I don't get mad. I don't get mad. I be like, maybe I am trying to mentor her and she's not listening when I should just be her friend. You know? Just be her friend. Because, I can't be a mentor and a friend. Then she's thinking that I'm literally judging her. And I think as a friend, you can be more effective than a mentor. If she asks you to be her mentor, fine, be a mentor. If she considers you a friend, be the friend. Do not try to cross that line from a mentor to a friend. Someone had to tell me that today. I heard what they said. I listened to what they said. And that's the route I'm going to go. And the funny thing about that whole situation, you guys, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this before we get off of here. That relieves me from a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility. And you know what? I do not have to worry about what this person does. If that person was not listening to me when I was telling them to do the right thing, then that's fine. They can go find somebody else to tell them to do the right thing. I'm going to put my time and effort into what I'm doing for me because I got things I've got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being mean, rude, or malicious or anything. I'm saying some people do not listen because they don't mind keep kicking the horse, keep kicking the horse. And they keep kicking the horse. And sometimes they get embarrassed. And they be like, I know what you would have said. I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. Oh, you still ain't working? Oh, no, okay. You still ain't got your car back? No, okay. You still ain't got your kid back? No, okay. But you got a boyfriend? Oh, okay. You still smoking weed? Oh, okay. You still think God got you down there to help the people? No, you are the people now. You are the people. But you know what? I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sad because you wasn't listening when I told you to not smoke. You wasn't listening when I said, get up. Let's put some more applications in. You wasn't listening. So, exactly, Zena. I'm going to do me and you do you. And every now and then, I'll throw a little bone. I'll throw a little something your way. When you should get up. You know what the Lord say? Get up, pick up your bed and walk. Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? What? I know. Okay. You know what I do when I go through some things? I call my friends up and I say, hey, I am going through some things. What's going on? And then they say, oh, I'm going through this and this happened and that happened. I'd be like, okay, I'll talk to you later. I gotta go, got this to do. I'm ready for today. And I ain't got time to be pity. Maybe 5 minutes of, oh man, shoot, I quit that job. Oh man, the car broke down today. Girl, I'll be on the highway. Car done locked me in. Hey, I gotta let you go. Because guess what? I gotta figure this out. I can't just sit there. I gotta get some help. I gotta get home. I can't just sit there and have a pity party. And then after the day is over with, I'll be like, dang. Girl, I be saying, matter of fact, you guys, let me tell you something. If you don't believe me, you can ask Sanjay when the car locked me in the car on the highway and shut down, I was on the phone with her. The first thing I said, girl, I gotta go. I gotta call my husband. I gotta call AAA. You know, this car done locked me in the car. Christine done locked me in the car and shut down. I gotta get off of this highway. Gotta go. And you know what? I didn't know if I was gonna call 911. I don't know, but you know what? I gotta go. I am busted now. This car done locked me in the car, shut down on the freaking highway. I couldn't even get out the car on the highway. And you know what? And it was hot. Sweat was running from me. Y'all would have been like, what is this woman in the car screaming and hollering because the car done locked the doors? Y'all think I'm lying. I'm telling you the truth. The car locked the doors, shut down on the freaking highway. I kid you not. You would have think I was sitting here lying, saying, how in the world would you just driving down the highway, talking on the phone, and the car just shut down, the doors go boom, 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 just like Christine. I said, what the heck is going on here? I said, the car that locked me in the car. The car doesn't stop. I can't turn the car. The car ain't going forward. The car ain't going backwards. The car just sitting on the highway. I got to go. I got to call my husband, AAA, 911, the police, the fire department. I'm calling somebody, but I got to go. It happened. It happened. And my husband come. My husband comes. Because I said, honey, leave right now. I'm on the highway. I'm not in town. I'm just on the edge of town. You're going to have to do a U-turn, whip around. The car got me locked in it. I'm finna bust out the window. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm having a panic attack. And he was like, baby, where you at? What you doing? Usually my husband be like, you okay? You know, AAA was like, ma'am, you okay? No, I'm not okay. Are you in a safe location? No, I'm not. I'm stuck in the highway in this car and the doors are locked. And I'm having a panic attack. Come now, hurry up. It happened, you guys. I'm serious. It did. It happened. And my husband got there first and he was like, undo the latch and it's undo the latch. Make sure the battery, we're going to hook up the battery. I'm going to give it a jump or whatever. I'm like, ain't no way this car just going to. And guess what? He gave the car a jump and the door said, doot, 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 and open up. I jumped out the car and I said, I'm driving your car. You're driving that car. I'm done. Matter of fact, we're selling that car. And you can't even tell me that we ain't. This is the last time I'm going to get my black tail in that car there. Guess what? This is the car that my husband gave me. Thank you very much. I don't want it no more. We're done. We're done. I'm like a turkey on Thanksgiving. We're done. Sell that car. Sell that car right there. No more. He was like, we just need to get an alternator and a new battery, honey. I don't care. We're selling this car. You do not have to tell me that this car does not like me. And I don't like it anymore. How about that? So what I was saying, you guys, you got to make right decisions. She says, I feel you, SP. I was panicking too. Oh, has it happened to you, Zena? Where the car locked you in the car, but you were probably in a safe place like a parking lot or in the driveway or something. I was on the freaking highway. Never in my life has something like that happened to me. Never. But you ain't got to tell me twice. And he's like, honey, why are you getting rid of the car? There's nothing wrong with the car. You know what? You drive that car. It will never happen to me again in that car. I sold that car for maybe $700. I don't care. They was like, yeah, they was like, is the motor good? And like, yep. Is the transmission good? Like, yep, got some new tires on it too. Well, man, why is she getting rid of that car? She said she's done. That's what you got to do sometimes, you guys. She said, yes, on my way to work, should have called it out. It was blowing, freezing. It was below freezing. Oh my goodness. The car was possessed. You know what? And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. And this is why I don't really watch TV a lot, because people come up with these stories and people be like, oh, you remember that story about Christina? Everybody know when I say this is how this car act, you know, because you seen the movie Christina. That was my car's name. After that, we called her Christina. And so you can really understand how that car was treating me. I mean, it was every time I turn around, me and one of my girlfriends or something, and it wasn't always the same girlfriend that I was talking to, that we prayed together going home. Then the windshield wipers wouldn't work. And then the car, flooded over here. And then it went into the ditch. And I don't even know how the car got in it. I was like, you know what? Y'all can have this car here. How about that? I remember when the brakes went out and I kept going around and around and around my job, waiting for it to slow down. It almost killed me and went right through a green light. I said, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason why we're talking about this, she said, I didn't see the movie. I was scared of that movie. Girl, let me tell you, that is why I don't watch TV, because them movies on TV is so much close to reality. I say, how in the world have they made this movie 10 years prior to this happening to me? 10 years prior than this happening to me. It's crazy. She said, bad to the bone. Exactly. And I love, what's his name? Thurgood, that sing the song Bad to the Bone. Let me see. I think it's Thurgood. The movie Christina singing the song Bad to the Bone. Dun, 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 dun. Bad to the bone. You are right, because I was freaking out, thinking all kind of things, because I watched a lot of true crime. Exactly. Yeah, George Thorogood. Yeah, George Thorogood sings that song. Exactly. So you guys, when things kind of don't work out and, you make a decision, you make the right decision, stay making the right decision. Sometimes you got to let stuff go, like I said. And you may not understand what I'm saying, but maybe you are, and maybe this is for you. Here's the thing. Sometimes you got to mind your own business. Do something for yourself. Okay? Don't worry about it. If God wanted you to do something to help somebody, he'll make sure you knew. You ain't got to sit there and be like, I think. You won't have to think about it. It would be, you would do it. You wouldn't care about anybody saying anything. You would just do it. You guys understand what I'm saying? You ain't got to sit there and say, what do you think? What do you think, Pauline? You think I should do this? No. You know what? You do it. And especially if they bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Freddie said, have this car and shove it. Girl, I would have sold that car for $200. I'll be like, Jack, I take $200. What is $200? I don't care. You know what? We're going to get rid of that car. And you know what? I didn't feel the pain. I did not feel the pain. They was like, oh, wait, this is a good car. She tripping. No, I wasn't. That car sat in my driveway no longer than a week. I didn't even have a for sale sign. People were, you know what's so funny about this car? You guys, I kid you not. I did not even have a for sale sign on this car. And people was knocking on my door saying, ma'am, is this car for sale? It ain't even sat there a week. And I said, yeah. I'm thinking, why are you coming to my door when I've got 4 cars sitting in my driveway, but you are interested in this car? Like, no, I'm not giving you that car for a little nothing, but I'm going to get rid of it. And the guy was like, well, I'll give you such and such. I was like, you can't give me that. I'll give it to my grandchild before I just hand you my car. He was like, well, okay. I was like, okay, bye. I closed the door. I had the title sitting on the dresser waiting for I never did even put an ad in the paper or nothing. They come back again. Somebody else come for the car. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, my husband must have told somebody I'm getting rid of that car. Man, she getting rid of that car. She going to let it go. She said, and he swears to God that he didn't tell nobody. And I said, well, how in the world is they coming up, knocking on the door, asking about this car? There's no for sale sign. The car is not on a flat. The car been driving just last week. How in the world is they coming over here at Timbuktu? We live in a cul-de-sac. We don't live off the main street, asking, is this car for sale? He's like, I don't know. I said, okay, well, whatever. I'm not even going to play. Freddie said, I sold mine for $500. Transmission gone. Girl, I gave that car away. I don't know what I got for it, to be honest with you. I think it was like $700 because I told him, I said, it's a good transmission, a good motor, some new tires on there, and shoot. Exactly. Bye, Christina. The man said, do I have to get a tow truck? I said, no. You can drive this car home. The motor's not gone. There's nothing wrong with the motor. He was like, ma'am, boy, if you don't take this car real quick, I am done. Anyway, it is funny. I couldn't tell you guys. Sometimes you got to let things that are not good for you go. Whether they friends, whether they habits. I don't know who sent them. Zena said God sent them. I don't know who sent them. You know what? I was glad. If my husband would have said, yeah, I told some guys that you was interested in something, I would have said, cool, good, fine. It really didn't matter to me. At least you were trying to get it out of here because I wasn't going to drive it no more. The devil is a lie. No, ma'am, not me. I'm not driving that car no more. That's it. But I learned that right after that car, I went and got me a car. And my husband wasn't ready for me to get another car. But I went and picked out me a car. It was calling on me. And I really didn't have the money. And, you got to do what you got to do to get where you got to go. And I finally got a car. It wasn't like I got the best or the greatest or anything. I got me a car that I felt that was for me. You guys understand what I'm saying? I don't want payments. I just want a good driving car that's not going to lock me in. That, just a good driving car. I didn't care how dirty it was. I didn't care if it was used. I didn't care. I just wanted good motor, good transmission car, that wasn't going to lock me in. And I got one. It's not Cadillac. It's not, a Maserati. It's not a BMW. It's not a Jag. It's not Mercedes. It's not, it's not. It's just a car that's paid off, that runs good. And I'm not scared of it. And I'm okay, And that's what it took. That gets me to A to B. And I'm so happy. You got to let some things go in your life. And at that time, I did not have money for another car. So I kept that car for a minute. And She said, thank you for such an interesting life. Girl, and you know, Freddie, and you know, I'm pretty sure you remember when all that stuff was happening. You remember, Freddie, when I was going to work and I drove past the job because the brakes went out and I went around and around. I was like, well, I'll be on time, but I'm going down the street. I'm So we all go through stuff. What I'm saying, you guys, we all go through stuff. And but it will work out. You guys understand what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to take care of self. And you can't just keep holding on to material things and sometimes people. You guys understand what I'm saying? Once you make a decision, stand on your decision and keep it moving. Keep going. It will work out. She said, Sanjay said, I remember those long rides. Yeah, you know. If I ever hit big, y'all be like, that girl came from the trenches. She said she ain't gonna stop until she makes it. And trust and believe, you know, things do get easier. So if you're going through anything, don't worry about it. It will change. You guys, you understand what I'm saying? But you got to keep at it. Who knows? It might change tomorrow. It might change in the next 30 days. You know, but if you keep going forward, it's definitely not going to stay the same. And sometimes family will be there for you, and sometimes they can't. Ain't no mad reason you sitting there getting mad and because your family ain't did this and your mama ain't did that and they could have said something and I'm the black sheep and blah 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 blah. That ain't gonna change nothing. You know what you just do? Because some people ain't even got nobody. It's just like I said, when they stuck, they stuck. Some, you know, like I was trying to tell you guys, I didn't know if my husband was gonna come or not. If he wouldn't have came, shoot, 911 was gonna be there in a minute. He just beat him. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. I just can't sit there on the highway and just sit there and wait till he feels like coming to get me. Cause 9 times out of 10, he normally don't. He usually takes his time. Oh, I'm doing this and can you get somebody else and have AAA take you home? I done been through it all, whether I'm married or not, you guys. Guess what? You still handling your business. Just handle it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope that you guys, you know, got something out of it. Just remember, you know what? You may think that you're in a bad situation, but you'll be all right. You will. God got you. All right? Pray to him tonight and tell him thank you because it could be worse, you know? All right, you guys, be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.